trail that I was on, it was clear that I was the first person on that trail. And then even when I got to like the motorized trailhead to get back to the biking stuff, there was
Nothing.
nothing there. So
Yikes.
another 6 miles from there. And yeah,
When I broke down in Mini, I had to walk out and the guy that picked me up, you know, I was dressing really well. He says in the back of the truck, and when he drops me off the store, he goes, "Thanks for not killing us."
God. All right.
I look pretty right.
Yeah. You drop me anywhere, I'm homeless,
Yeah.
at some point, yeah.
all right. Well, should we call this meeting to order at 6:39 p.m.?
Yep.
All right. Of course, we have a set of meeting minutes for September 10th. Guys have any questions or comments on those meeting minutes?
I don't.
I did not either.
All right, entertain a motion to approve the meeting minutes for September 10th, 2025.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
Sorry, to get my pen here. Do I have one of those?
you need one?
I do need one, actually.
You need one?
Oh. Right, our first appointment is public hearing continued for Jill Stahla's improvement permit sketch plan. Thank you very much, Pete. And yeah, yeah, before we had asked for a little bit of time for a continuation for our attorney to draft a lease agreement, licensing agreement. Yeah, so
Yeah,
take it away, Willie and Dennis.
I think we just turn it over to Dennis here. He did provide a draft licensing agreement. It's in your packet and
So, yeah, so can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Good. So, as you are aware, as I said at the last meeting, I was a little bit worried about the Sunnyside transfer agreement, so I went back and looked at that. And it does have certain requirements for the transfer of property interests, including easements. In looking at the definition of easements versus licenses, licenses are generally considered to be not a property right transfer, doesn't involve a deed or anything like that because of the fact that they're revocable. So I felt like that was definitely the way to go, especially since we weren't going to have a deed with this license agreement either that would trigger the Sunnyside thing. I did still put some language in there that said the licensee was releasing any and all claims against Sunnyside, including any of its related entities related to any mine waste, etc., just as sort of a extra preventative measure there so we don't run afoul of Sunnyside. I worked with Lisa Adair extensively on this. I showed her the draft. She came back with some proposed changes. I made the changes that she had suggested. One of the things you'll note is that so originally I had drafted it as a 10-foot wide driveway license with basically 10 feet from the center line either way to make it a 20-foot wide license. Lisa pointed out to me that the reason she was hoping for the applicant was hoping for the triangle shaped area in a license was they didn't want to create a hole off the edge of the road into a hole. As you could imagine, just having a driveway leading up to the road, it's going to take a substantial amount of fill, at least 10 feet probably off the edge of the road is what Lisa and I talked about. And if we would just do a 10 or 20 foot wide, that would leave a big hole next to it. So the idea there's a triangle that'll get filled in gradually and allow the driveway to run on that triangle. It can be terminated at any time by the county for health, safety, and welfare reasons. Otherwise, there's a short termination notice. I believe it's 60 days to terminate. And yeah, and then at the time of termination by either party, the the county could decide to either require the licensee to remove the improvements. And I'm struggling to see when that would ever happen, frankly. Or can require the licensee to leave the improvements in place and have them become part of the county site. The only blank in the document is the annual fee that that I believe Willie was contemplating charging for the license. You'll also notice in there that I did require in the draft, I required the licensee to at all times maintain the current driveway as the primary ingress and egress to that property. So I just didn't want to get in a situation where they decided they wanted to get rid of that driveway or something and just primarily use the new driveway. So it's actually referred to as a secondary driveway and requires them to maintain the regular driveway as well. And by maintain, I don't mean snow removal. I just mean they'll just keep that. They won't get rid of that ingress and egress as well. Other than that, I feel like this this gives the county some flexibility. It's not creating a permanent property rights transfer. It's not running afoul of the transfer agreement with Sunnyside, requiring a lot of extra paperwork there. And I think it accomplishes everyone's goal. Yeah, and I think again, I worked with Lisa on it, and she felt she hadn't heard obviously from her client yet. So he and the county obviously will have the ultimate say in this matter.
All right, Joel, Emily, do you guys have anything you'd like to add or? Just before,
Yeah, I think the only thing is we would request that the license be at least 10 years for the first section and then maybe renew every 5 instead of doing every 5 or every 12 months. And so to consider that, I guess is something we're gonna ask for, just because we have so much front loaded expenses on doing this that to only have it for a year or two and the county says, hey, we're gonna do this, then it doesn't make it worth it to do all this for us. So hoping that we can push some of those terms out and still be reasonable with, fairness and cost. And I know Lisa's worked up a whole bunch of costs. So that's kind of what we were hoping to ask for here.
I do think that becomes problematic with the definition of a license. One of the characteristics of a license, as opposed to an easement, is its terminability by the licensor. And I'd have to take a closer look at extending that out to that duration, whether or not that starts looking awfully close to a property transfer, property interest transfer at that point. And I think obviously that was sort of the elephant in the room when I was drafting this. This landowner is going to invest a fair amount of money in adding fill and constructing a driveway, and something certainly could come up that we're not seeing, or that we didn't anticipate, or the county didn't anticipate. But that is the nature of a license, and that's just how they're crafted typically.
do we need to take public comment on this one?
We did continue the public hearing, so I think it would be good to go ahead and ask for public comment.
All right, we'll go ahead and ask for public comment if you guys are all right with that. Any members of the public who'd like to speak, please go ahead and do so now. Lisa, you can talk, or you're part of the,
I've been helping Joel and Emily and originally just envisioned this as an access easement deed. Like what I'm used to using, and I'm fine with it being set up as a licensing agreement. I can see their point that they'll have a lot of upfront costs for construction and surveying and Troutner and these binders, and so they're a little afraid that spending a lot of money and then it could potentially be revoked in a year. So I think they were just asking for some kind of comfort level. And although I doubt it would be revoked in a year or soon, that's what Dennis and I were thinking. But it's unlikely to be revoked soon. And then a big question mark for them, I think, is what kind of licensing fee might be required.
All right, do we have any other public comment? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close public comment and open it back up for discussion. Scott, you have any questions for these guys or for staff?
So Dennis, we still, as far as Sunnyside, we do not have, there's not a clear title, and will there ever be?
I'm okay with where we are with title because there is a provision in there that the licensee accepts the property as is in its current condition, including as to the state of title, and the county makes no representations regarding its actual title ownership. You know, and that's about as good as we're gonna get there. So I'm not too concerned about that.
And refresh me, we're not supposed to be selling any property for 2 or 3 years according to Sunnyside. Was that kind of the agreement?
Well, the Sunnyside agreement basically says that if the county transfers a property right and any of the property is received, then the deed regarding the transfer has to contain certain provisions in it, including release of any and all claims and some other lengthy provisions that need to be included in the lease. We're not precluded from doing that. I want to make that clear. We're not precluded from doing an easement or transferring an easement. We just have to make sure that we go through the process set forth in the Sunnyside transfer agreement to make sure the deed itself has the matching language needed. Very doable. I think the bigger concern I had was just the permanent nature of the lease and precluding possible use of that site in the future, not knowing exactly what you guys might want to do with it. And, you know, a license is very, very regularly used by counties as opposed to easements, just because, you're dealing with public's property and, giving away public property or selling public property, typically not taken lightly. And so, I from a legal perspective, I personally would definitely lean more towards the license as a favorable means of transferring this driveway right. Do I think we could potentially stretch the initial term of the license out a little bit? I think I could live with that if as long as the county had the right to terminate following that initial bump. And I certainly wouldn't say 10 years because, again, I just don't know that you guys have any idea what use that might be put to. But again, you guys are the ultimate decision maker.
All right, I guess that's just a question. Well, I can't ask Pete, but I can ask Austin or Willie. Do you feel like by this driveway going in, we're limiting any uses of that property, or does that help the property if there's a driveway there and we can take a driveway off of that? Do you guys feel like that is limiting or good for us, or?
I think both. I mean, it's not limiting, it potentially could benefit that property, having that driveway,
Right.
depending on what was there. If we do it as a licensure, we're not giving the property away, and so if the driveway doesn't work, we just don't renew the license.
And we keep.
Or we terminate.
And
the
we still
license.
have a driveway.
Yeah,
You know, I'm looking at, again, highest and best use of the land. Do we sell that? Could we sell that property? And consolidate it as one claim, instead of just selling an easement, because that's part of the thing. Is the easement price a fair price, or do we raise it? You know, do we ask for $7,000 to $10,000 for the privilege to use that, or is that just going too far? That's just a question I have as far as, you know, like Dennis said, we are selling, or we're doing something with public property, and I feel as a commissioner, we should be doing what's best for the public, not necessarily the landowner. So just a couple questions for either Willie or Austin, or comments.
If I could,
I got a little thoughts about it, you know, like I think, you know, in some ways, like, yes, but in other ways, like this property, while it's, you know, something that we're very fortunate to have, it's not something that we invested a ton of money in either as a county.
Okay.
But I think, you know, and I thought a little bit about it, you know, before the county, you know, took over ownership of this parcel of property. I mean, the likelihood of them securing a driveway easement access across it was probably pretty low. So, I mean, in terms of pricing, I think because it's a little bit more uncertain, I think it's harder to justify asking, you know, $7,000 to $10,000 for it.
Right.
I was kind of more in the realm of like maybe like $400 or $500 a year, and then that way we're still retaining essentially what we would more or less be getting for tax revenue and property tax on it.
So you're saying
And-
doing the 400 or 500 year license agreement and not the 3,500?
the 3,500 or whatever that amount would be for an easement.
Right.
Yeah.
And we would give the property away essentially, and it could potentially tie our hands in the future. By doing the license,
Gotcha.
then we charge an annual fee, and, you know, probably something in the $400 to $500 range would probably make sense.
Okay.
And so then if we, you know, if they had it for 10 years, you know, you're talking about $4,000, you know, 400 a year.
So we'll eventually reach that.
Yeah,
I mean, is that that little section of Millside for sale? I mean, could these guys buy it?
not now. I don't think with the EPA's, or sorry, I don't think with the Sunnyside land transfer that we have a really good leg to stand on by selling that corner property, and I think going through.
Be too much paperwork and.
Yeah,
There's no clear title. So
We'd have to subdivide it or do a boundary adjustment
you would have
on
to
it.
subdivide it probably.
And-
Okay,
I don't want to say that we can't sell property in the Sunnyside. It's just there's a process that we have to follow. And yeah, I think there was also the concern of in the Sunnyside transfer that they gave us a guarantee for a couple years on some things, on some
Yeah.
time diligence. So the idea was that the county really wasn't going to do anything with these properties quickly. They were going to wait until that transfer settled down, make sure that we got all of the due diligence that we should have gotten, because we did get, and we also got a corporate guarantee on that as well. But again, it's only for a couple of years. So the idea there was just because of, I'll just say, the interesting transfer that it was, you know, we scrapped for every last bit of guarantee we could get, and so I think you're well advised to sit on all of these properties for a little bit until that guarantee period is over. Otherwise, if something did come up, and knock on wood, well, hopefully nothing does, it's gonna really overcomplicate things if now that we transferred stuff out and now third parties own it, and it creates a little bit of a mess. But again, I just wanted to be perfectly clear, the license is it can be terminated, but you know, if you wanted to extend the initial period out a couple of years, and you know, maybe that makes some sense. But the $400 or $500 a year is probably what I was contemplating you guys would go with if you did a license.
Okay.
And then there's nothing that says after a couple of years, county realizes they're not going to do anything with it, or the county says we want to sell this property after a couple of years. There's no reason why you know, the licensee couldn't buy the property at that time either.
Okay.
I think one thing that might make the licensing agreement a little bit more palatable on a shorter term without, you know, a 10-year lease is if we offered some kind of first right of refusal to the applicants, to the stallos, and that way they don't feel like they're potentially gonna get, you know, like shut out of it if the county does decide to sell it. But I don't, just because I don't foresee you know, a rapid use of this property for anything by the county, but that doesn't mean that in the future that we won't have something. But I mean that you know, 10-year-ish period, I don't personally see anything that we're gonna be jumping to do with that property that comes to
I've been
mind,
working on other stuff.
you know, but
We could
that
do
doesn't-
a first right of refusal with the consolidations of claims to where it's just one claim.
I'm just gonna chime in and doing a lot of talking here, but I can tell you that rights of first refusal are generally especially in selling and tying up public property, because then the public feels like, you know, someone
oh,
Yep.
has to participate in this. And
okay,
it sort of gives someone a leg up on a purchase of county property, and you really want arm's length transactions when it comes to that.
Okay.
okay,
I mean, what I, you know, obviously, I mean, my crystal ball isn't working real well right now. But what I see that potentially that lot might be used for, or that property might be used for, is after all the workforce housing in town has been, the lots have been exhausted. You know, we might do a duplex out there or something to add a couple of units, but you know, there's so many issues,
And there's better sites for that type of building.
environmental issues, location. I mean, the one thing it's got going for it is it's got water, and it's got power.
Yeah.
But I don't see anything like that happening in the near future, and I think if it did, I think the driveway would most likely, you know, you design it to use the driveway as opposed to
yeah,
building a new one. Cause it'd be located in a place where you're not, anywhere else, you're gonna go right through your building site, so.
yeah,
There is a wetlands below that road. That's just something to think about. If you cut off water to that, maybe the water is just gonna run off the road and down in the wetlands. That's just a thought. I think we put something in there. What happens if the wetlands dry up? Then are they responsible for those wetlands drying up, and they have to figure out how to either restore them or do something else? Or
I mean, when I went and walked the property, those wetlands were pretty dry already, like.
I think Jake was seeing wetlands type plans, but.
Yeah,
Actually, Dennis put that in the license agreement.
It is,
Mhm.
okay, all right.
Well, I put in the license agreement that, yeah, there would be no discharges and things like that. I don't think there's anything in there literally saying that they'd have to restore wetlands, but again, I don't know how you do that. You're on the side of a hill, but, yeah. I felt like there was enough in here where, and if they were doing something to interfere with the wetlands, then of course you'd have your ability to terminate for health, safety, and welfare. You'd have the right to immediately terminate. But yeah, I know it's a little complicated, and but I think the license makes the most sense. And again, if you wanted to bump the initial term a little bit, just so they didn't feel like, oh, we just spent however much we spent, and the county can come in here 2 weeks later and say, thanks for the driveway. Now, I don't foresee that, I don't foresee anything like that happening, but I can understand how the licensee would be a little nervous about that.
If you don't mind, seeing, or you don't think that that's going to happen, what would the issue be writing it in there?
Well, because my crystal ball is also not working well, and I have no idea what comes down the pike here. I mean, we could have a situation where, again, I don't want to wish any bad luck on the county or anyone else, but we just did this deal, we just closed the deal, and we've got this, couple-year guarantee. And I think doing anything permanent or long-term with these properties makes me nervous, because I just don't know, what could potentially come out of the woodwork. Do I think the percentage is very small? Absolutely. But I'm supposed to look for the worst case scenario. That's my job. And
Yeah, I know. I have to do the same for our place as well, and our family. So, and we're trying to make it easier to get access to the land is really the main objective. Um, but investing all this money in something that's got a year or two lease on it with, I don't know, do you want to speak to any of that?
I mean, I think, a couple, there's some wiggle room there, but I think Dennis also said, too, that as a licensing agreement, it's a little different than, a typical, easement agreement or a lease agreement kind of thing too. So the longer a term we push it out, the more questionable it becomes as a licensing agreement as well. I mean, I think, I mean, personally, I'd be fine with like a 3 to 5 year period. In terms of that, if that made Dennis not uncomfortable, but if he says he's uncomfortable because of the limitations of a licensing agreement with a 10-year guarantee on it, then I think that's,
I'm not good. I'm 10 years.
That's
too much.
yeah.
What if there was a way to write something in there about 2030, which is 5 years? Which is 5 years from now,
I'll tell you, the EPA asked me for an access agreement to a property that I own until 2030. Just yesterday.
What are they doing up there?
At the powerhouse.
Oh, at the powerhouse.
So, yeah.
So I think if I can speak up for a minute here, I think our biggest concern is that and I understand that our finances and what we've invested is not the concern of the community and you guys, and I completely understand that. But we've invested so much just to get to this point, and by the time we actually install a driveway, we're looking at probably $25,000. And so it's not feasible for us to have access to a driveway for 1 year or 2 years or 3 years. And I was under the impression during the last meeting that the idea was that this investment that we would be making would be benefiting us, and then possibly also the community down the road if that area was developed. I guess I was under the impression that we could then share the driveway that we are investing in with whatever purpose the property brings. But I guess I wasn't under the impression that we would be told that maybe after a year we couldn't use that at all. So I think I might need a little clarification. Is that what is being said?
I think that the attorney is speaking in terms of worst case scenarios, right? So like the county, as you know, uh, owner of that property would not be looking to, say, thanks for the driveway, see you later. I think that if anything, we'd look to make it a shared use if at all possible.
And that was our hope as well, for us and the community. But I guess, the way that it's being worded and being discussed, it makes it sound like in a year we could be terminated to use the property whatsoever. So, obviously when we're investing a lot of our own personal funds in something like this, that's very unnerving. So I think that's where we're, trying to navigate this. And I understand that 10 years is a long time and it doesn't make sense for a license and with the I'm sorry, Sunnyside situation. But, then there's our side of it too. So we're trying to navigate what's being said, what's being hoped for, and just there's some legal jargon in there that I'm not very privy to. I don't understand it very well. So I'm trying to better understand what exactly is being said or suggested.
Dennis, go over it again if you can.
Okay, so the Sunnyside transfer is a transfer of all the property to the county that we received, including the subject property. In there, there was some guarantees made by the Sunnyside, the transferor in that conveyance, regarding title and regarding disclosures, that they disclosed all potential problems and things like that. And that is, I believe, a 2-year, I have to go back and look at that. I believe it's a 2-year. And as part of that also, as part of that conveyance as well, the transfer document requires that there's certain language be included in any conveyance document that conveys any interest in the property, including as to a lease. And so I think we're walking a fine line there. I can put this language in this document if you want to turn this into a longer term obligation, and I can give myself a little bit more comfort in terms of complying with this transfer document. A license, however, by its nature, a license is it's not a property interest. You don't own a property interest, you own the right to temporarily use somebody else's property.
Yeah, it's like we're renting it.
It's even less so than renting, honestly, because it's a license to use it, and then when the licensor says you can't anymore, then you can't anymore. I feel like we're getting pretty far flung here, and you guys originally wanted an easement. If the county wanted to sell you an easement, like I said, it creates some certain issues because of the guarantees given by Sunnyside, the 2 years, and the notion that the county was really going to sit on these until things sort of settled down, so to speak, legally. And so the license is a better option.
Sure.
I totally understand your uncertainty regarding, or your uncomfortableness regarding spending a bunch of money on a driveway and then potentially having the county say, you know what, that would be perfect for XYZ, but we're going to need to have him move that driveway. So I get that, but they're two different animals completely. If we did a license and then the county said, let's just say the county said 3 years down the road, hey, we want to put a duplex there, we want to use that road. The way it's drafted, the county would be able to use that driveway with you, and you'd probably execute some type of driveway maintenance agreement at that point. and the county would most likely benefit from the driveway and tee off of it or something like that. Everybody's happy, you guys share the maintenance of the driveway. You know, but there is the possibility, the way this is drafted, that the county says, uh-oh, this driveway is not gonna work with this easement, we're gonna need to wrap it this way. Sorry, guys, you're gonna have to move your driveway. So easement's different. If you get an easement, you actually have a property right to that easement forever. And the county could not come back in and say, give us our easement back. So that's sort of it in a nutshell. I mean, if you're gonna do anything longer than, you know, frankly, you know, I hate to say this, but if you're gonna do anything longer than just a terminate by at will, then I think I'd feel better if we went ahead and put the Sunnyside language in here, which isn't a huge deal.
Thanks for being patient and explaining stuff again and again, Dennis. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, this is sort of complex stuff, and it's yeah, and I'm looking at the transfer agreement and you know, I think the way we're talking about this, I actually want to add this now anyway, now that we've talked about it so much. I want to add that language in there. And I think that would free the county up to do a little bit of a little bit more on the front end if you felt like you wanted to.
The other point I want to just, you know, kind of tell the applicants too is this: the wheels of government do not move fast. And so, like, if we decided we had a viable use for the property tomorrow, say a duplex for affordable housing, it would realistically take 5 years
Or longer.
or longer for that to go through, you know, by the time the funding, you know, mechanisms were discussed and we, you know, applied for multiple grant cycles of whatever, you know, it was. I don't see realistically, you know, there being development on the property in the next 5 years, which is, you know, even with the language written the way that it is, our attorney is doing our best to, you know, keep us on the side of caution and keep us out of trouble. But you know, I don't realistically see that the property would be developed for any use in
Right.
you know, and we don't even have a planned use for it now. So it's, you know, it's not something that I think would you know, should be a large concern to you guys until, you know, you receive a official notice via, you know, mail saying, hey, we're thinking about doing this and we're discussing this at the meeting and we want you guys to come and give us your input or your thoughts.
So, do we table this until we see the language and the Sunnyside language in this thing?
Well, I think,
Are we allowed? to do
well, I don't
that?
know, Dennis is like, no, we've already tabled this once.
No, I think you could, approve it subject to a modification that the attorney wants to make to the license agreement. And then, you know, and the modification is if I'm reading between the lines, if you wanted to front end, or front load the license a bit to give the licensee some peace of mind that they weren't going to make this investment and have it taken away from them. I could add any language you wanted in regard to that, and then I would also add the Sunnyside verbiage, and that would make me feel better.
Dennis, what are you comfortable with as far as a lease agreement as far as number of years? I think 10 is too many.
Well, it's a license, it's not a lease, and I think
3 years.
you know, I think 3 to 5 years is probably fine. You know, and if something if something came out of the woodwork and really caused us some problems here. I just don't foresee it happening, you guys, but.
So let's say we were to do this for 5 years, would we just revisit the lease agreement and do another agreement similar to this one for the next 5 years or 5 years?
Well, it's a license, not a lease, and it would be up to the county. It would probably automatically I would say it should automatically renew year to year unless somebody wanted to renegotiate it at the
Mhm.
5 year, and maybe for a comfort level, you'd want to do another 5 years on it. Um, you know, it,
Sure.
it, this happens a lot. I ran into this and just so you know, I mean, it's used a lot on, if you have an encroachment in a right of way, typically you'll do a license agreement and it's renewable periodically or whatever. And instead of someone making you tear down your improvement, you get a license agreement and it's goes on and on and on kind of thing. But, yeah, if the board was so inclined to approve this for a 5 year initial term license, renewing annually automatically in the amount of $500 a year, if that's what you were thinking, and
I was actually thinking about the 5 years for the 1,500. I'm trying to stick into that 3,000 range, and I know that we can revisit this after what we thought would be a lease payment or a easement payment. Um, that's 250 a year. So 2,500. I'm sorry, 2,500 for how did we figure that, Em? We were trying to make up for the 3,500 that we offered the county originally. We were trying to figure that we could if we could get at least 10 years out of that.
We had just figured that when it's all said and done, we'll have 25,000 into it. So we were hoping that over 10 years, we'd be spending 2,500 for access to a driveway. That was just our thoughts, but it's not really pertinent.
Again,
Right.
we're looking to do things that benefit the public. As far as
Absolutely.
we're not worried about your expenses.
Well, we
That's
also,
clear.
I hate to be blunt, but that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep,
yeah,
I understand. We understand that from the county perspective for sure. We are just trying to protect ourselves personally, financially as well. On that note, if there was to be a change and they did decide that the driveway was detrimental to the new future property use, we would then be responsible for the cost and removal of that as well. Is that correct?
the way it's written now, but honestly, I have no problem if we remove that because, I mean, frankly, number one, the fill is probably going to be beneficial, anything we do with that. And so if the board didn't care, I don't care if that's taken out. You just, if it's terminated, you leave the driveway as is kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it would, if it wouldn't be beneficial there, I mean, yeah, dirt is dirt. We use a lot of it, I guess.
It's at a rate of $400 a month, or 400 a month, yeah, 400 a year. That's 4,000 over 10 years, so that's just slightly above what,
Yeah.
I mean, it's not slightly, but it's a little bit above what
And-
they were initially.
And I was thinking, because we can't give you guys a guarantee for 10 years, that we could compromise and say $400 a year in the lower end of what I was thinking. And do either, yeah. 5 year. What do you think, Scott?
400 and 5 year.
Okay, yeah.
okay.
So it'd be $400 a year, 5 year, and then it would renew automatically yearly thereafter. Or if you guys wanted to lock down another 5, you'd have to come back to the board and say, hey, can we lock down another 5 on this? And maybe the county will have a little bit higher comfort level with what they might be doing with the property, if anything at all at that point. And you're free to ask for, hey, it's been 5 years, you guys aren't doing anything. maybe sell us an easement now or something like that. So
Because after the couple years is up is when you have the ability to do that. Is that correct?
it's not a fact, not an actual, it's not an inability to do anything. It's just a comfort level because it was a pretty big transaction and
Mhm.
we were hopeful that it was going to, we were going to wait and make sure everything turned out well and no surprises came and things like that.
Well, and honestly, I think we're on board with that too. You know, we
Yeah.
don't want to get in the middle of that either.
Yeah, as well you shouldn't. And then if you did $400 and then there was a 5-year front-loaded lock-in, I could put some language in this license for that, and then we'll talk about the renewal, and then I can put this transfer language in for Sunnyside. And all it is basically you are going to be basically agreeing that to comply with the covenants that are in the original deed, which means there's a lot of stuff in there that you'll have to read, but it shouldn't cause you a concern. But I want you the chance to look at it, obviously, and if you need an attorney to look at it, you should. And the other thing that should be noted, and I didn't call it out when we were talking about this, was and if our excavator commissioner could talk, he would describe what the key and fill is. But Lisa described to me that key and fill is you basically feather the fill into the existing property by digging it up, and we cannot allow that. And it should be noted that
Just Phil.
the engineer in the engineer's plan actually has key and
I saw that. I saw that.
what you'll notice in my license is I overrode that. I said regardless of what the engineer says, no key.
Okay. Okay.
If the board wanted to entertain granting the license at $400 a year with the first 5 year locked in, and the inclusion of the Sunnyside deed conveyance language in the license agreement, I could do that.
Thank you.
Would you like me to articulate that same thing or take a stab at a different motion? Or Scott, do you want to take a stab at it?
Dennis, can we just
I
get
can.
a consensus at this point? And then actually adopt or approve the license when it's presented to us?
Either that or, I wasn't shaking my head that you couldn't table this to the next meeting. I mean, that's fine with me if you want to have me draft this, revise it and bring it back. I don't have a problem doing it either way, you guys. It doesn't bother me to table it if you want. I don't know how much are we looking to build this driveway this year?
That was the hopes, but we'll see. Time is pressing.
Yeah. So Willie, you want to do it by consensus? Or do you want to table it? Your call.
I'm okay with it either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that,
Let's just make a motion tonight.
okay, yeah. All right,
Uh,
I'm with it. Do you want to do it or you want me to take a
well-
stab at it?
I'm gonna make a motion that we okay what Dennis said. That's not very specific, but is that good enough? Is that good enough?
And what I said was if the commissioners wanted to make a motion to approve a 5-year license minimum, so a front-loaded 5-year license at $400 a year, renews annually thereafter, $400, and then each year, and it would be subject to a redraft or some amendments to this license agreement that's presented to the board, including adding in the language that Sunnyside wanted in any property conveyances. I can do that.
Either, that's the motion.
Just say so moved.
Got it.
So moved.
All right, there you go. Second. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Dennis.
Oh, go ahead.
Lisa, did you have a quick question?
I think there was one more thing that was discussed briefly a few minutes ago, which was in the current licensing agreement, it says that Emily and Joel might have to rip out the driveway and that
We'll take that.
maybe that could come out because then the county could.
Yeah,
Right, Dennis was comfortable with that, so we can take that out.
yep,
I got it.
All right,
all right.
did I make
We
a
good?
motion? Or
You did, you did. Yeah,
Okay.
you made the motion and I seconded. So, we have motion second. Any further discussion before we vote? All right, all in favor? Aye. Aye.
Okay, now we still have to actually approve
Approve the driveway permit.
the improvement permit for the driveway, yes.
Because
Correct.
we've approved the
Yeah,
licensing agreement, but we haven't approved the improvement permit, so. So I will make a motion that we approve the sketch plan improvement permit application for development of driveway extension on 1301 County Road 2. Submitted by Joel Stale.
I think we could probably
What was
consolidate sketch, preliminary and final into one
Yes,
thing,
Yes.
because there's nothing to really
It's just
take
a
it back
driveway,
from
yeah.
you.
so
Yeah.
I'll add sketch, preliminary, final to that.
all right. Second,
Okay,
all right, we have a motion second. Any further discussion from staff or board?
no,
All right, all in favor?
aye.
Aye. All right. Thank you, guys. I'm sorry it's so complicated with the Sunnyside property, but I'm glad you guys get to build your driveway because I'm not sure Sunnyside would allow you to do that, so.
Well,
Appreciate
thank
you guys.
you. Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you, Dennis, very much for working on this. And thank you all so much for being patient with us and listening to our case and trying to see our point of view as well. We really appreciate it.
Can you, and can I convey this to Lisa and you guys can touch base with her on the changes? And then the Sunnyside language, is gonna be a little deep, in terms of, its meaning. So if you have an attorney you wanna run it by or something like that, by all means, I just, I'm not concerned, but you're not my client, so, I really want you to have a comfort level on what those terms mean when you see it.
And will that just be an addendum to the original license agreement?
It'll either be in an addendum or right in the body, but it's gonna be very obvious.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, guys. We'll go ahead and move on
Thank
to our
you, guys.
next.
Thank you.
Next appointment here, which is our road and bridge supervisor, Rusty Melter. Thanks, Rusty. Sorry that took a while and that you're sitting here waiting instead of being at home with your family, so.
I'm gonna drop off, you guys. I hope that's all right.
That's great. Thanks,
Thank you,
Dennis.
Thanks, Dennis.
All right.
How's it going?
Yeah. And welcome back, Pete.
Yeah.
Had to wake him up there. Dozing off.
Well,
No sleeping,
Yeah,
just being quiet.
I
yeah.
appreciate you using yourself. I think
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
I
I think it was the right call.
It was,
Yeah.
it was the only thing I could do, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
But I don't have to keep myself up, that's
How-
rusty.
Yeah. How are things going?
Busy, really busy.
Yeah.
Great article in the paper.
You saw that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, it came out really good. Yeah, we built that in 4 days.
Wow.
So, yeah, it took a lot of equipment. It took 3 weeks to get it all there and 4 days to build it. So, yeah, it came out really good and, yeah, the road was 7 foot wide, now it's 16 feet wide in there and drove the dozer around it as soon as I filled it in, so. That's huge, because we weren't able to get it around there before.
That's a pretty good test of what you did. driving
It's,
that dozer.
safe now.
Yep,
Yeah.
You can drive a dozer.
yeah,
A small dozer, not the
Small
big one.
dozer, yeah.
yeah, the big ones never really fit around that corner. Yeah, it was 18,000 pounds of steel, and we put rock bolts in, and we put cable bolts in, and we built dead man anchors in it, and, yeah, I don't think it's gonna go anywhere.
That was steel we already had from an old bridge, wasn't it? Or-
In the thirties, that bridge was built as the Howardsville Bridge, that's the bottomless culvert now.
Mhm.
And the forties, the hematite slide ran, picked it up and moved it over by the mill.
Yeah.
And, I don't know who was in charge then, but they kept the steel for specifically stuff like this, cause there was
Yeah.
bridge beams, but they were sprung, so they couldn't be used for a bridge. But they hung on to it just for this, and we got to digging around back there and found about 25,000 more pounds of I-beam, so. Yeah, so we got some for other jobs too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff doesn't go down in price.
No, and it's old steel, it's incredible when you cut it, it cuts different, even the modern steel, cause yeah, it's got so much more carbon in it. Or less carbon, it's got less carbon in it. So.
Does it cut easier or harder?
It just cuts more like consistent, like it's more like
Huh.
fluent with the cuts.
Huh.
So, yeah. Yeah, so now we started on County Road 2. We've been out there for 3 days now lifting it, and we've moved a lot of dirt. So we've been moving a lot of dirt, but it's coming out real good. We got the first section done. We lifted the first section Monday, and it was a 5-foot lift to the shoulder of the road. And then we lifted the next section. This is all right in front of the Columbine slide. Deleted that super in there. That's completely filled in and done now.
Where all those puddles were and stuff like that, or?
A super's like
Super elevation.
Oh,
it's like the
Yeah.
NASCAR corners.
Right.
So,
yeah,
I mean,
But it was the wrong way.
no, this one was the right,
That
it was the right way, but
that's the one right past the slide that goes.
Yeah.
down like that.
yeah, so that's all filled in and more. I mean, there's still a super there, but it was 36%, and I brought it back to 8%. For a 20-mile-an-hour road, we don't need a corner that's made for 200 miles an hour, so. So, yeah, did that, and we call it Moose Hill now, after the Columbine slide, that high hill in there that's between Columbine and the Hamlet slide. We call that Moose Hill, cause if there's moose out there, that's where everyone just leaves their doors open and their vehicle in the middle of the road. Yeah,
Right.
and block the road
That carries
completely.
up.
So we are down below that. There's a pretty good dip in there, and we're filling that in. We're hauling the dirt from up there. We're gonna make it really wide up top.
Oh, where you come over the hill, then you come around that curve
And
like
then it
that.
dips and then-
That's pretty steep right there. I mean, it's,
Yeah.
okay, so you guys have flattened that out a little.
Well, we're working on it. We've put about 75 dump truck loads in it, and it looks like we barely touched it so far.
Okay.
So, we have about 300 more to go.
Wow.
But yeah, at the top of the hill, we're widening that, and our easement there, we're taking 12 feet out there, 15 feet high, about 600 feet long, all the way back down to the road. Get a little bit more room up there, so if people are gonna continue to stop and leave their vehicles, maybe there'll be somewhere to get
Walk
around.
side.
Yeah, maybe, or at least I could drive around the side to get around them.
Right.
So, yeah, we set up traffic control out there, and it's been going pretty well. We could put a VMS sign out that says road work ahead, expect delays, 10 miles per hour. And then at night, we've been switching it to rough road ahead, 10 mile per hour. And it's been pretty good. I'd say we're getting about 4 or 5 bad ones a day, but for the most part, most people are slowing down and, yeah, abiding by it. So it's been working, because none of us wanted to do this on nights. So
Right.
we've been trying to do the days, and it's been working so far.
Good.
So. Yeah, sorry I don't have any reports written up. I was talking to Willie about it. I'm gonna catch one up in
Do it at the
November.
End of October, November.
Yeah.
When you're done doing all that stuff, then you'll have some time to catch up. We're not worried about it.
Yeah,
I'd rather you're doing that stuff than doing a report, so.
I mean,
And plus the fact that you're coming here and telling us what's going on,
Yes.
that's awesome.
Do you guys have any big washouts with all the rain or?
I can't believe we haven't had any.
Wow.
Like,
We lucked out.
yeah,
Yeah.
Cause I just cringe when I see these hard ones as far as the mill area, it's like.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I've been specifically, I left the tea in town for so long, just in case that happened again. I wanted it in town during monsoon, cause in last year, when it happened, everything else was on the other sides of them. And so
Yeah.
that makes it a little more hard. We thought we might be mucking one of those out with a skid steer. We'd have been there a while. So. But yeah, that's that's pretty much it. It's just the little giant, and then we jumped right on this, and
That's great.
so.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing, there's 3 recalls on our water truck. And it needs to go to Freightliner and Grand Junction. And so we're gonna run it about 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks. I'm gonna run it till like the first or second week of October. We're gonna drain it out, and then I'm gonna have Bill McDougal drive it up there, drop it off to have the recalls done. Something with the regen in it. And also maybe they could fix some other things in that truck, cause it doesn't put out very much water. So,
Huh.
yeah, it's not the pump design was not very well done in it.
So need a bigger pump or?
No, they put the pump at the lowest point of everything in the system. So if you get any sediment in there, it ends up in the
Clogs it.
pump. Yep,
Hmm.
it's all in the pump,
Huh.
so. But that's about it.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, this is, it's just, I'm just pleased that we're just seeing so much work getting done. And I mean, you've gotten a lot of work done in just a short amount of time, the last couple of years. So did the Cunningham and all that. I'm impressed by that. So.
You might mention the culvert,
Oh,
so we got.
yeah, Alan from the Forest Service, there was like some money left over, from that project up there at the Brooklands. And I can't remember the funding, we normally get it, from the Forest Service every year, what's it called? The 50,000 we split with the school.
Secure Rural Schools, which hasn't been renewed, so.
We only got 12,000 this year.
Yeah, so I was talking to him about that up there, and they felt bad, so they gave us a leftover of that project. They gave us a $10,000, and then they bought us $8,000 in culvert, and they delivered
Wow.
it
And
too.
they delivered it.
Really,
So,
They couldn't find it, but then they.
yeah,
that's pretty generous of them and good negotiation, so.
and it all came through Kirsten, so.
Plus they were generous and paying Rusty for plowing the road to begin with.
Yeah, they paid us to plow that
Probably
road.
With projects like that, we could do more of those.
Yeah.
But what's awesome to see is the cooperation with the Forest Service and the county.
Yeah.
I think
Well,
that's key and you know, like we like to see it.
Yeah, and I think Kirsten helped,
She definitely, yeah, the RMS
convince.
definitely helped them. Yeah, she
Yeah.
did ally
Well,
also.
thank her next time you see her,
Yeah.
and definitely
Yeah.
thank
See
the
her.
Forest Service.
Her and Mark, they're both
But
allies on that.
it's, it's nice to see when our road department is out helping these agencies out, that they're returning the favor instead of
Yeah.
just expecting it.
Reciprocating is a nice thing.
There was like kind of a string attached to it. It's pretty much, they don't want us to hear about us asking them for money on South Mineral Road for a couple of years. And I thought that was a
That's
good,
fair.
yeah,
I
they
mean,
said
they spent a lot on that.
we paid in advance is pretty much what they said. So if you have an issue out there, we already paid for it.
Okay,
So.
wow. There was a lot of work.
The other thing, Russ, if you don't mind me adding, and I got a picture, I just sent it to you. They're using that new sign, the digital sign, and it's right there at the part of the West Mill. That they can change in the speed limit and everything else. I think people, well, either people look at signs or they don't, but it's lit up and
That's pretty obvious, so.
that's pretty cool to use that. And if you guys get a chance, I'm out in the county all the time,
Sure.
my job. If you go see the work they're doing, you have to see it to appreciate how much dirt they're moving. And how fast they're doing it and how safely they're doing it, so.
Nice.
Yeah, but that D6T, it does all the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
Things
I bet.
awesome.
I bet in that one corner, I bet we moved, you
Right.
know, over
But-
over
but-
1,500 yards.
Right, but you're also able right down the road where you push up piles, the excavators loading trucks. I mean, you guys are,
Yeah. I mean, they hauled 60 trucks in 2 days, and I spread it in 40 minutes with that dozer. Like,
it's working.
yeah, and got new tracks on it, so it's pretty happy.
Nice.
So, there's one other thing I just remembered too. Been talking to John Zarkis, and
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna put it behind the old town, or we're gonna put it behind the town shop. He already built a pad for it. He's working on getting power, but we're gonna put our own fuel tank in there. That's gonna be shared between the town and the county. The way it works is they'll have a code pad on it, and so all county employees all road and bridge employees will have a code, all town. So when the county code is punched in, it's just going to keep track of our gallons, and it'll keep track of theirs separate. So we can make adjustments based on whoever used the most. It's a 4,000 gallon tank. It's hooked to cell phone, and it will automatically reorder the fuel at 1,500 gallons.
Huh.
And it is gonna save us $1.23 a gallon. So,
Which is amazing.
That's a substantial
The-
savings.
To me, the other main thing is about this is, and nothing, you know, against that entity out there, but not having a generator, we no longer have a problem with diesel in the
Right.
winter time.
You can get it.
4,000 gallons,
You can get it anytime, so.
exactly. You're not dependent on anybody.
and that
It's-
kind of,
being self-sustainable
No,
is
that
a good thing.
Makes total sense.
and that kind of happened in 23. We had a bad snowstorm. We had the road closed. We were out of fuel. There was no power. Someone had a heart attack. And then it's, and I've hooked up, we've had the electricians hook up, or Carson has hooked up a, plug to power our garage doors because of this exact incident. So if we have no power, we could still open the doors, get equipment out and stuff. But we had to open the door and then go plow that road on fumes. And just wondering, are we gonna run out of fuel? Is like,
Yeah, this is a great idea.
yeah, so,
Yeah.
and then,
That's good cooperation between town and county that we're seeing now too,
yeah,
which is also worth mentioning.
yeah, and I mean, on like a year like 2019, I mean, we could save, $17,000-18,000 compared to what we spent on a year like that. So,
It's a lot.
yeah, it could be huge.
Yep.
So.
Sounds good. All right.
Been traveling County Road 110 a lot. You have too, I'm sure. EPA started hauling sludge to the repository, and when they started sending those trucks down the road, the dust is absolutely incredible from those trucks. Like, I thought it was bad on County Road too, but like, I mean, like,
I thought they were
like
gonna.
quarter mile
I
dust
thought they were
cloud
gonna
you
water,
can't see
water
through.
the road or something, not you guys, but I thought. That's what they did the last time, didn't they? Water the road while
I
they're.
think it would be worth mentioning to Athena or somebody that they should probably do that.
Okay.
And I'm happy to do it if you want me to. I just, yeah, it would be.
I can bring it up to them too, that they need to go water it. I mean, the one thing that I've been wondering about them hauling that too is, are they only gonna do 20 miles an hour for the first few days, and then is that speed gonna start increasing or?
I will say I passed them going the other direction. I thought that they were going faster, and then I was behind them the whole drive into town,
That
and
was
they were going 15 to 20 miles an hour the whole way.
Okay.
So whether they keep to that or not, I don't know, but
But Willie or.
but it would be-
or Austin, do you wanna, who's gonna ask Athena? About watering the
First-
road?
I'm already on an email chain with her right now, so it wouldn't be that hard for me to reach out and
You
say-
wanna you just wanna.
Yeah.
Austin?
I would, and I'm not gonna be here tomorrow, otherwise I would do it.
Cool.
Get a hold of Anthony and have him do
Okay, all right.
it.
Well,
That's, we kinda try to.
also in contact with him about this.
Because that's, it's.
Tim chain for peak stuff. Yeah, not a problem.
Well, good observation, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
very
then,
good.
and then the guys are doing work down at the crib wall, and they're irate because of the dust, too.
All the
And-
guys working on the Anglo-Saxon there.
Yeah, at the crib wall there, but they're taking it out on every passerby.
The former.
And I don't know if I stopped and he was, yelling and cursing at me, and I was like, well, get a flagger, have a flagger, you should have one anyway.
Yeah.
Isn't that,
Exactly.
that's, you know, he's like, we have a road construction sign back there and. And I was
Oh.
like, well, that's
The
not
the good
really our
news
problem.
is, the good news is they had their seat and they're done
Yeah,
at Anglo, so.
yeah,
Yeah.
so.
With,
But-
with that, with the water too, you know, we put a lot of work into building that Animas draft station. And then they took it over. So we lost that draft station pretty much. I haven't had time to go kind of explain the situation to them, but they put a pump in there, so we can't draft there anymore. And then I said, well, then we need to be able to use your pump. And then they told me that they need to be present every time we use the pump to fill our truck.
So that never got that never got rectified.
I haven't-
You and.
I mean, it's.
Tell them they better have somebody there from 9 to 5 then.
Well, I kinda said, then someone needs to be there every time you pull water out of our draft station with our water rights. There needs to be a county person there. I'm like, see how this, you know?
You know,
So,
it's ridiculous because what they're essentially saying is we're too dumb to run a pump. I mean, and it's our draft station.
Yep.
It irritates.
They
me.
have the suction tube in the barrel that,
Right, I mean,
and
we
everything
should
that
be able
we
to work
built
this
for
out.
our truck.
They should be able to work this out.
I haven't had really much time to deal with it because I can't get a hold of those guys unless it's midday, and midday
You're out.
I can't stop to go find them midday, so.
We spoke to,
We spoke about it.
yeah, I can't remember if Anthony said he was gonna.
You might, I'd bring that up with Anthony.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that up
I'll bring
too.
that up with Anthony too. We'll bring that up as well, so,
Okay.
yeah,
Yep.
thanks.
They either need to be able to draft from the station, or we need to be able to use their pump. But it can't be this, you know, I turn Bill McDougal around and send them back out to get water somewhere else. So-
Yeah.
Well, and the thing about it is, and like I said, we're gonna work this out. The reason they're even using our draft station is they didn't wanna pay a landowner like they've done in the years past. X amount a month.
Hmm.
Okay, so. There's gotta be some give and take there.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not charging them, let us use the pump.
Yeah, well, and they also have a pump they can set up anywhere. They can talk to the town of Silverton, set it up over here by the Kendall Mountain Bridge.
Right.
They can set up multiple different locations, but we took where the bridge was all the way 7 feet down so that we could get our truck in there.
Right, and they're using it.
And they're using it. We can't get our truck in there now,
Right.
so.
Well, fire something off to Anthony and.
Yeah.
Try to get it rectified.
But that's pretty much it.
All right, well, thanks, Rusty.
Thanks, Rusty.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yeah.
Rusty, if you get a chance or if you see her, Cheryl Meadows, would you explain to her what you're doing out there? And
Okay.
she's left a message on me, she wondered what was going on out on County Road 2, and I didn't realize you got started out there, so I didn't get a chance to call her back, but I figured better to come from the horse's mouth.
Yeah, it makes sense. The first time she drove through was when I started pulling everything over, so it was pretty rough.
Yeah. She wondered when the county was gonna grade again, because it was pretty rough.
Yeah.
Now it makes sense.
And-
Yeah.
And I've had to explain that to the brokers, few landowners, hey, when they're all done, they are gonna, you see the motivator here, they are gonna grade it again. okay?
Well, and we've been grading
Don't
it
panic.
as we go to keep it as smooth as possible. I mean, we're gonna put a ton of gravel on this. I mean, I was gonna talk to John and see if we can make a deal, if we could borrow one of his trucks so that we can get 3 running out here, then this winter sometime we'll repay the favor with helping them haul some snow off Main. And then,
You know, the other thing you can bring up real quick, it's for next year, but the fact that you got the new screens on your screen,
yep, so we bought
might save us a bunch of money.
new screens for our screen deck. It was only $2,000. I was really surprised how cheap it was. And we got that land use permit from the BLM for 50,000 yards or 100,000 tons. So, you know, I kind of brought it up to Willie at one point and I brought up to Pete, but I am hoping next year that we make 100% of our own gravel. And the money we would normally have for the gravel budget, instead of buying gravel with it, we buy a newer truck with it so that we can move this gravel easier. And I mean, 100,000 tons, I mean, that's more than, if we took everything out of that land use permit that we can legally, that's more than Louis ever crushed in the Eureka pile 10
Oh.
years ago. So
Wow,
it's a lot of
oh,
gravel,
that'd be great.
Yeah.
so.
Bueno.
All right.
All right, thank you,
Thanks.
Roxy.
Thanks,
Yeah, thank you guys.
Have a good evening.
Yeah, you guys too. Hopefully not too much longer for
All
that.
right, our next appointment is Sarah Moore. Sarah, thank you for your patience. I was like, oh my God, she's been here waiting for so long, but I was like, well, we're kind of getting back.
No worries.
So, yeah,
So I have two things. You should have seen the invoice from Salmon Development. We've raised $16,000 in donations for town entryway signs. All individual donations, business donations, and then a commitment of $15,000 from the town as well. So
Wow,
we completed that project in 2 months exactly. So it's pretty awesome.
yeah, that's great.
nice work.
I met with Ken on Monday of this week. And he will hopefully have that manufactured or fabricated by the end of October, dependent on materials, obviously. And then installment, he said it could happen, between now and February if snow isn't insane, or if it is a hard winter and it's not doable this winter, we can do it by April. So both those signs will be installed by April at the
Nice.
latest. So,
Wow,
yeah,
this is great.
yeah.
Nice work.
Thank you. And I gave Willie some stickers for you guys.
I did not put one.
Okay, perfect.
He said that's the only reason he comes. to the
Yeah,
meeting.
exactly.
A
Yeah,
little swag.
He keeps
Yeah.
me coming back for more, yeah.
yeah. Someday we'll get you guys some mugs or something. And then tonight I'm here to request $1,200 for Art for the Seasons program. We have a few new buildings. One building is tentative right now. I can't give that address out right now just because we don't know if that will be assigned to this business owner, but they will be renting that space and working on it this winter, and they need to cover up their windows. So we do have we had 7 artist applications. Our art committee selected pieces of art from 6 artists out of the 7 yesterday, and yeah, so that will be, this money will be towards the artists and the printing and the banners.
It's a great idea.
Yeah, and the reason why I'm asking for the full amount, Salem Development's Main Street grant, Main Street mini grant, we do not know when that will come through from the state, hopefully early 2026. But we just have no idea when that will come through for this next year, so, yeah.
That's interesting. Dola said that was one of their unaffected programs.
Yeah,
So,
well, we received our we have 2 different funds, scholarship fund and our Main Street mini grant fund. Scholarship came through for like professional development and some other things, but the mini grant stuff is for beautification projects, which we have no idea when that'll come through yet, so.
okay.
Yeah. But
Well, I think that project's been a pretty big hit. I really enjoy seeing all the artwork for.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like that,
Yeah.
Lodging
Yeah.
tax.
Everybody likes that.
Does it come out of lodging tax?
It does.
That's what one.
Yeah.
We just need a motion then?
Yeah.
Make a motion, that we give $1,200.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor?
All right,
Aye.
How's that?
there we go.
easy,
Look at that. Nice.
quick.
It was worth the wait.
Yeah.
As you probably heard, our road and bridge department's pretty busy right
Oh,
now,
yeah.
but if you guys do need some help with the sign
Yep,
installation.
Yeah.
You could probably request some help. from
okay,
the road and
awesome,
bridge
that's good to
department,
know,
Yeah.
cause I know town.
Especially if it's late October or something like that, we got an excavator.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
That's actually very helpful.
too. Yeah,
I'll let Ken know.
Yeah.
Thank you, guys.
thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Will.
Yeah. All right, moving on here, we have our. Can we go early here for a couple minutes? It's 3 minutes early for the auditor's report?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
How do we get that done?
All right, San Juan County financial statements and independent auditors report for December 31st. 2024. Sorry.
Mhm.
mouthful. Already making me tired, but I mean, turn the page up.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, go ahead. I mean, I read through it, probably in more detail than I would like to admit, but.
You know, we got our audit, completed, I think it looks real good,
It did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're in good shape right now,
Great to say, isn't it, Willie? It's good, it's a good thing to say, isn't it?
it is a good thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting just seeing these, our fund balance increase, lots of things increased, and that's in our long-term debt decreased a little bit. Was the new debt issued in the amount of 139? Was that the fire department loan?
It was the excavator.
That was the excavator.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, I just couldn't remember what it was, so it's the excavator.
I'll have to flip open to the page if I can find it, but do you have any notes?
No,
You on there?
is it, no, I wasn't concerned about anything.
General revenues from federal and state governmental activities, Willie, we dropped by like 500,000, is that because of grants? On page 6.
Page 6.
Yeah. Just showing revenues and then general revenues. And it said, federal and state revenue was like 1.7 million in 2022. And 2024 was only 1.2 million. Why the difference? Is it just grant related?
There were some grants, I think there's some, public health.
Public health.
Right.
Oh, like COVID,
Oh, yeah.
COVID stuff, yeah.
Yeah, right up.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I mean, and yeah, it wasn't just public health, we received the, there was that. Shoot, I can't even remember, where they just
Oh, they gave us that.
gave us
200.
200,000.
That's right, yeah, that's right.
So that's probably in
Yeah.
there too, isn't it? Okay. All right. So, I mean, it's nothing worrisome because a lot of it was.
Yeah.
Like, we weren't expecting that 200,000. Yeah, tell them if they ever want to do that again, that's great.
I'll have to see if I can pull through and find it, but that was my other comment too, is that yeah, our expenditures too, look like they went down. But the majority of that was public, or basically the difference of it was public health.
Yeah.
In terms of like unbudgeted spending. Or, that they didn't spend, it was over 300,000.
Well,
Almost a total difference.
yeah, well, the other place was the sheriff's office.
Yeah, the sheriff's
We budgeted
office.
For that extra, we budgeted for that extra officer that they haven't been able to hire again, so,
Yeah.
that's
That's
some money.
And I was surprised because some of them, like the assessor's bill was down. Like $30,000-$40,000 under budget.
Again, primarily because of budgeting for a part-time employee that we've never.
Yeah.
Never happened, yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
And emergency office, I kind of was assuming that was Jim's office. Is that right? Emergency office, sorry, I'm on page 35, but I did find it.
Thank you.
Yeah. That was like double what was budgeted. For expenditures, so it's like.
Yeah,
Under expenditures, it goes down and there's like emergency medical services, emergency office.
yeah, that's.
And I was like, I didn't know if that's Jim or not, but,
That's true, yeah.
and it was like, like double
Did he get
what we had
is
it
that out of a
budgeted
grant?
for.
He got-
But
he got
I was
some-
wondering if it was a grant related.
He got
thing.
some grant funding, and I'm trying to remember what we used it on. In 24.
And I know there was like some of that like hardening. Generator stuff
Yeah.
that he got for the office there. I think there was a drone that was shared between their office for search and rescue stuff.
I'm
That
trying
he
to
got
remember
a
if
grant for.
We
And
got this.
The power banks?
We got the search and rescue truck through him too, but I think that was.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that would have went in 24 budget or
No, that-
23.
If that was 4.
that from
If
the-
that was 24, then
That
that's
would
that's
be
the
it.
difference right there.
Was that from the Colorado Search and Rescue Fund, that
I
truck?
think so, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, great donation.
yeah. Yeah, but those are, yeah, my only notes were, yeah,
Okay.
public health, it's a big,
Yep,
big difference.
and you knew it was coming, I mean, eventually.
Right,
Yeah,
That COVID thing is gonna go away.
right up.
It did, yeah. Willie, on this, you just need a motion for us.
I do need a motion.
The audit, correct?
To accept the
Except,
2024 audit.
okay. Are you guys at that point to do
Yeah.
that?
yeah, absolutely.
I'd make a motion to accept the 2024 audit as presented.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Yeah, love just seeing a different format of our financials though, you know, too. You know, we look at
Yeah.
the numbers a lot, but it's always good to see
Yeah.
it from the auditor's perspective and the numbers presented in just a little different way.
Yeah.
All right,
And it's always nice to get that, you know, I mean. You get Ladonna or Deanna's numbers, you know, in her treasury report.
Yep.
You got them, and then, you know, you get your expenditures. From Ladonna, you know, and then I plug them into how they're fitting in the budget. But it's nice to see somebody else come in and confirm that we haven't missed something or that.
Yeah.
What you're
Right,
doing,
right.
Right, I mean, that's what I would.
Good peace of mind.
I call that
Yeah.
It is.
a glowing report, and that's hats off to you for
Yeah,
that
exactly.
also, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are no red flags, no anything,
Yeah.
so I feel like things are going really well.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
keep up the good work.
all right, moving on to new business, we have a couple liquor license renewal applications. We have HC2 Opco Inc. doing business as Silverton Mountain retail liquor license. Didn't see any.
As far as, I mean, the sheriff has looked at this and everything, and no complaints, as far as you know, right, Willie?
I sent both of these to the sheriff and told him if he had any concerns or comments, but let me know I didn't get anything back from him, so.
Okay.
All right.
No, I haven't heard anything, so. I just need a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to renew the retail liquor license for Silverton Mountain.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right,
And our next liquor license application is for Columbine Roadhouse. Similar application. You guys have any comments or?
No,
uh, make a motion to accept the renewal or the retail liquor license renewal application for Columbine Roadhouse.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
All right,
Aye.
And next on our new business, we have a proposal from payroll department for payroll processing proposal.
Willie, what'd you think about this proposal?
You know, we've talked, I brought it before,
Right.
before we talked about it. Alex has been in communication with them, working with them. The more he's researched and checked with other that used it, the more.
You like it.
comfortable with what's going with them.
Good.
Only
Yeah.
question I had, what does mineral HR mean? Down there,
Human resource.
okay.
Yeah, why is
Why
mineral,
does it say mineral?
why is the mineral in front of it?
That's probably the way that they brand it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's their,
I would assume
Oh,
that.
that's their brand?
I'm sure that's like what they call their HR service, you know? Mineral
Yeah.
HR.
Come from a county, that does mining and mining. It's
Right, right, yeah, mineral.
It's mineral thing, yeah.
Almost should say optical mineral. Yeah.
So do you need a motion for us
I
to
do need a
enter in
motion,
that
yeah.
partnership?
Yeah.
You wanna make that?
I'll make a motion, accept the partnership summary for San Juan County payroll purchasing proposal,
Payroll department?
payroll department.
Yep, I'll second that.
All right, all in favor?
Right.
Aye.
I think that's a really good thing for us to do. I think I have been amazed at having a payroll company, how much, they've been able to catch things coming through and help us with. I used to do it on my own, but it actually does, there's a lot of liability involved with it now, and there's a lot more regulations and changes that have come down through the state in the last couple of years, and I think this is a really good thing.
It's hard to keep abreast of that if you just do it yourself, so.
Yeah. All right, sales tax report. We're getting pretty good overall here. Other than lodging, which is still okay, but
Yeah.
No.
Okay, I think we'll, you know, we'll see the next 2 months or when we get our big check for lodging, or bigger check, actually, it's not so much next month, but the month after. That'll really tell us where we're at, you know, we're running a little behind, but
yeah,
But as far as just the regular sales tax, I feel like we're doing.
sales tax is doing great.
Yeah.
The lighting hasn't, you know, the other thing I thought about, though, that probably is too early to, I wouldn't be showing up in this yet either. And, and I don't know if they pay lodging tax or not, depends on how they rent their rooms, EPA not being here early in the season. That Prospect
Oh, yeah.
Hotel sat empty, and several vacation rentals that, you know, that they would book for the whole summer.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
has an effect.
Now, if they rent the rooms for more than 30 days, then it's like, you know, it's like renting an apartment. You
Right,
pay-
you're not gonna
pay
pay
that
lot, you're not
much,
gonna
but
pay
if they're
lodging.
doing it by the week, you know,
Right.
when they come
Right.
in, then, yeah, they pay those taxes, so. Either which way, you know, the owners of the lodging establishments that it depended on for the last couple of years are probably taking a pretty good hit.
Yeah,
And the remote sales tax continues to,
You okay, huh?
yeah,
yeah,
I mean, hey, that really was a nice bonus when the Supreme Court decided that
yeah,
Yeah,
Yes,
local government was entitled to that.
yeah.
thank goodness, yeah, that's a lot of money.
Yeah. Imagine, yeah, and for us, but for the town especially, you know,
Yeah.
but I think,
Yeah, nice boost.
I think that's a huge source of revenue, particularly in the south end of the county that we're missing out on.
I think you're right.
Any other comments or questions on sales tax report?
Oh,
Yeah.
All right, next we have our treasurer's report. Do you guys have any questions or comments? It's, you know, things looking good there to me.
Yep. I don't have any.
no, I
Stop.
don't have anything, I like that ending balance.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Alright, okay. And then, next we have our, legislative committee, commissioner designation forum. For CCI. I'm fine to keep doing it and attending where I can for,
So it's appreciated that you're doing that.
yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah, sometimes it's well worthwhile, and there's a lot of times where. I feel like you're there with the other commissioners trying to fill their time schedules.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you guys want to keep that the same, the designee, and I think Scott or Pete, do you guys?
We have,
Pete, I think
actually, I
you were
pulled that up,
alternate.
look, Pete is an alternate.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm okay with that.
yeah.
I'm good with that.
I will say my regional Southwest meeting that we had, was thinking that the CCI folks, you know, said how smoothly it ran with everybody. kind of on the western slope, and even though we may represent some pretty diverse, viewpoints and communities and,
Sure.
geographic locations. There wasn't much that we disagreed on, and CCI really kind of, I don't know if they appreciated it so much as pointed out that it was much quicker than, the other regional. Meetings that they go through for legislative priorities, and it's surprising how much, if it affects Mesa County, it's affecting us too, kind of thing, and vice versa, so. I'm really happy where that's going with CCI, because with the, political divide in our country, CCI was not doing that well a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And even regionally, there was a lot of friction and a lot of disagreement, I think, amongst kind of our regional groups. So glad to see that, that's going.
You get a lot more done if you're working together.
Yeah,
Sure,
So much
you sure
more.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you need a motion or anything like that, Willie, or not?
No, I got just consensus.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, do we have anything else in our back at the sense here?
We're done.
Billy, we have the CCCI registration winter conference.
Yeah.
Like, you guys wanna go?
Yeah, I put that on the table, I think I put it on the table tonight.
Yeah.
Have to put up a pack of.
I'll have to discuss with my wife, but I actually really would like to go if I could.
I would like to go also.
Yeah,
It's kind of a slower down time of year
yeah,
for me.
sure.
Yeah, no, that'd be great to go,
When
I would like to
is it?
go
I
as well,
don't- I don't see that.
Jefferson
Yeah.
County, which is
Gonna be.
kind of unfortunate.
Sure.
Yeah.
But if my schedule works out that I can, I'd love to go, I haven't been to one since, prior to COVID, I just haven't.
Yeah.
Had a chance to get back into it.
Do you get their emails for registration and stuff too, or?
I do.
Okay, all right, good deal. Just making sure. Yeah, I'll have to,
Yeah,
I'll have to discuss with my significant, my better half, what,
That one.
whether that's something that we have
Yeah.
plans for, or whether it's something I can.
And,
go to, yeah.
and you can take your
Like,
significant other with you.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Nice.
And get a room and all deal.
Yeah,
Shoot, take advantage of that.
I used to make Chris
CCI takes plenty of advantage of
say,
us.
because there'd be 2 or 3 sessions that, at the same time that you wanna go to, I make her attend one.
Oh, yeah, really?
So-
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's
actually-
kind of cool.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool, yeah.
I don't think I can put my 3-year-old up to that.
Yeah.
Maybe next year.
You might,
Maybe next year.
Start them early.
Yeah.
she might get things going.
She might, yeah. Any other, any other,
Yeah,
No,
I've
business,
got a couple other things. Talked with Dennis about doing another field trip on the afternoon of the 8th. Probably Tailings Pond, maybe up to Gladstone.
okay,
I'm thinking
October 8th,
October 8th, yeah.
okay,
And so.
Sure.
after the meeting.
Yeah, after
Very good.
our meeting, so he said that he really found the last.
He's never seen any of that.
Just,
He's never even
no,
seen
it
it.
it just opened up a whole different world for him,
cool,
so,
Good for him to see more.
yeah. And then I put a email in your packet from Daphne Gervais, the Department of Natural Resources. Actually Katie Stewart, I mean,
yeah,
and she left this meeting, she was on the phone with them,
yeah,
and setting up a meeting,
That's awesome.
on the email, there was 3 options, as it turns out, the only time that actually works for everybody. Is the Thursday, 10/16 at 1 o'clock, if that. If any of you guys can make that work, I mean, they're bringing in, you know, I mean, I don't know that we'll get anywhere with them, but it just gives us a chance to hash it out again. But yeah, they're bringing in, some of the big guns to talk to us.
10:16, 1 PM?
Uh,
You said 10:16, 1 PM?
yeah. So, yeah, no, I was real pleased to see that.
I may or may not be able to do that, just because of rain time.
And Daphne apparently worked for CCI before she went to work for DNR. So she's somewhat sympathetic to enemies,
Needs, yeah.
so that doesn't hurt.
Oh.
The other thing I have, received a call today, Club 20 is doing their caucus meeting at Town Hall on October 2nd at 2:30 PM. And you're the,
I think Pete.
Yeah,
Pete's Club
well,
20.
well, oh,
well,
I was waiting for that.
Pete is the delegate and you're the alternate,
Okay, yeah.
so.
What time is it?
2:30 on October 2nd at Town Hall. They do these caucuses because, you know, they have a representative from each county and an alternate, but it's not necessarily the county government, because anybody can be a member of Club 20. So anybody from San Juan County could be the town, it could be if there's a local business. Usually it's a county by default because nobody else even shows up,
Right.
but
Okay. We'll try and discuss and make sure one of us is there.
Yep. We'll do it.
yeah, that's all my notes.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Public comment.
Public comment.
public comment. If there's any members of the public who would like to comment on any county related items, please go ahead and do so now.
One at a time.
Uproar. There's
Yeah.
uproar.
Yeah.
Try to wade through it.
Yeah. All right. Being that, we'll go ahead and close public comment and open it up for commissioner and staff reports. You guys have any?
I do all the way till the end though.
I had an ambulance meeting right after, the day after our last meeting. And probably the biggest thing that's happening is we're having a lot of turnover. We've had
Again,
a couple resignations of paramedics, EMTs, it's all related to pay. It's all related to pay, and we have to be more competitive, so. Ambulance board from Tyler's already talked to you, we're gonna ask the county for more money from our sales tax fund. We gotta bring these salaries up to, and we're still not gonna be comparable. We're losing people to Uray, we're losing to Durango, it's just really hard to keep people up here.
Yeah.
it's important.
It is really important, especially to have people that are here for 3, 4, 5 years or something.
Right,
We'll train an EMT and.
Well, when you lose their experience, they also lose the experience of where the lay of the land and everything else.
Yes.
Which is really important on calls.
So, we need to increase the pay to become at least more competitive. We're not competitive, but we'll be more competitive,
Right.
so.
Yeah.
And it puts a lot of pressure on Tyler, cause he's on call, you know, and if they're shorthanded, he's on call, you know, so it's just tough all the way around, and their call volume was up again, so.
I'm sure it is.
And hard calls, I mean,
Yeah.
some of them are big time calls.
Like we were just talking about, the backcountry is still full,
It's full, yeah,
so it's
a lot of potential there.
a lot of
Yeah.
pressure.
Yep, but I think that's what I would say is the main thing with ambulance. And how much are we putting in escrow every year for new ambulance fully? It's like 10,000, isn't it, or?
Yeah, I think it's 10,000.
Or need one?
Number one is starting to get old, so we gotta start thinking about that.
What year is it, Scott?
I can't remember, but it's, you know. I
Got
think
some mileage on
I
it?
think you go like. Most people rotate after, I think it's like 8 years, and aren't we at like 12 years or something? Or 14 years or something?
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
time.
We have 100.
You don't want that breaking down.
We have
fast.
$100,000 right now
Okay,
for ambulance, but I know
which
Isn't it?
it isn't enough, cause the new ambulance can be a lot, but, hopefully we can wangle. A 90-10 grant or even get that, cause then we get a waive, even the 10.
I think we've gotten 90-10 before, and I think the last time they even waived that or something, we did,
That's-
or the ambulance paid it themselves because we didn't.
Yeah,
We didn't
I'd
think
swear we got a
anything
really
of it.
good deal, but that's what we'd like to leverage is no less than 90-10, so.
But even, you know, if you get 50-50, we've got a chunk of money, so.
Sure, at least we.
And there'll be another, we haven't put in, 2025 in there, so that's another
Okay.
10,000, and we'll have 2026 is another 10,000,
Okay.
so.
Just
So
something
right
start
now.
start thinking about this stuff,
125,000.
doesn't take long to learn.
Nobody
You know?
can have the ambulance break it down on the
And
pass.
I still remember asking Gilbert, how can a truck with, 20,000 miles on it, how come you need a new one? And he explained to me that, all your equipment.
The pumps and everything else
pumps and
around
stuff
it.
Got water in them the whole time, so they're sitting there rusting and things like that. That was an eye opener for me.
Right.
How something was so low mileage could be worn out.
Right.
Like when I asked him, there was some piece of equipment, like a part of a pump was just laying on the ground, all rusted out. They were
Right.
trying to replace, so.
Well, and the ambulance, that's obvious, it's an opener, I mean,
Yeah.
what the run we make is over passes every time. Can't have a breakdown, we need to,
And we'd like, the other thing, well, we talked with, Representative, Katie, we talked with her about, they don't, the state doesn't recognize ambulance services as an essential service. They recognize sheriff and fire department, but, so
really,
there's not state funding for ambulances. It's ridiculous.
that is
How could it
ridiculous.
not be?
Yeah.
Yeah, how could it not be an essential service?
Yeah.
I don't know where the logic
I
is in
don't
that,
understand that at all.
but if you could get them thinking that it's an essential service, then maybe some funding will come from the state too.
Yeah.
Right now, we're self-financed. I mean, the state funding happens with these grants and stuff like that, but,
Yeah, that should be an essential service.
I think so. That's all I got.
All right. Couple small ones, like, I caught up with, Mariah about the sword meeting. And, she said she would be interested in being kind of our county designated rep on that,
good.
on that if we can. I mean, Becky and Amy sometimes, are my proxies on that board, but to have somebody who's more permanent doing it and that I can catch up with more frequently about it would probably be okay. They're still just, a little back and forth about, long-term treatment facility stuff, and I think there was like a revival of that idea this summer, and then that they kind of have backed off of that again to, actually the statistics for long-term treatment centers are not good.
No,
They're, rehabilitation facilities do not typically.
People just keep coming back to
People
it.
keep coming
Yeah.
back, so, there's that, and then there's just the enormous cost that it keeps to run it, because it's essentially running a hospital.
Yeah.
well, I'm sure.
So. That's kind of where Sword is at, and so they're trying to utilize their efforts and energy towards some of the other things, and I think some of what they have gotten are these group homes where
Yeah,
people take more ownership and responsibility and are given more based on it being able to stay clean and participate in that community, and those I think have had pretty good success so far, and they've
you
got.
said they're having
And
better.
they're trying to get them jobs and things like that,
Yeah,
right?
and I think they've got 3 running now, and they're trying to expand that to like 6 or 7 in the area, so, yeah.
And
So-
less expensive.
Yeah. And then I had a Snuffles Energy Board meeting, which is another one of those groups. They spent about maybe a third of the meeting discussing whether Eco Action Partners and Snuffles Energy Board should be more separate, or whether they should rebrand and rename Snuffles Energy Board, because when it was created,
That's not a waste of time, is it?
yeah.
That's when you put it on mute and no video, and you go out and make a sandwich and.
Make a sandwich, I like that, Scott. And made with mac and cheese, yeah.
Scott has done that when he's been on a Victor meeting.
Okay,
where he
go make a
started.
sandwich.
Actually, usually I'm stretching my
Uh-huh.
legs and walking around, just
Yeah.
trying to keep the circulation going.
But it is a worthwhile group. They're doing good things, and they're trying. Yeah. The big one is that partnership kind of between them and San Miguel Power. We're trying to get the grant funding for the microgrid solar project up on Pond 1 or 2, and the funding for that is not unsurprisingly dried up with the new administration.
Of course.
So that project is, kind of maybe going to be put on hold here for a little while. But yeah, they've tried. They're trying to figure out how to continue to fund it. Thankfully for us, no matter how they try to work it, they're not going to be coming and asking us for large amounts of money. But they may come around budget season and ask us for a little something. Yeah, which honestly, to keep that project, that microgrid project alive, it's worth it. But
Probably not a bad idea.
yeah, but and it's a great group, but it's not one of the fun ones. Trying to think of what else. We had a meeting yesterday with America's Public Lands, right? That's the organization.
Something like that.
I'm
I
right now,
haven't
but
got it.
they're a newer organization actually than I really thought they were, but they're trying to be like the National Park Foundation for supporting Forest Service and national parks.
Sure.
For BLM.
This is for BLM land.
But they're giving us a chunk of money. They confirmed that that's all hunky dory. I think it's
100,000 for the Baker.
Yeah.
Baker Park.
And
Wow.
50,000 for signage and storytelling, to kind of help document the project, which will help for grant stuff, and it'll help for
Sure.
getting promotion of the project and whatnot too. But they were really impressed with the project yesterday, and didn't get to stay to bike or walk the trail at all, but yeah, we saw all of the weather. all of the seasons at once. We had some summer, we had some fall, we had some winter.
Yeah.
Is it
Maybe
just,
not some spring, but yeah,
is it just me, or am I seeing a few more mountain bikes in town? I
it's
just feel like I'm seeing more mountain bikes, than
Yeah.
like tourist mountain bikes.
Yes.
Not local.
I think we are seeing more.
We were
At the
there
hotels.
yesterday, Tuesday afternoon. Little rain, little snow, little sun. There was a ton of people out on their bikes and not local.
And I
Good.
was just observation, that like going to the dump yesterday, I see 2 or 3 bikers
Yeah.
Yeah.
on this street, but going in that direction, and I know that's where they're headed. It's starting to work.
Yeah,
And the
good.
word is starting to get out. It was just my gut feeling, but that's what it
I
felt
wish
like.
the word would get out more of that and less for the,
Yeah, for the backcountry.
yeah.
sorry.
But no, it's good. We didn't recognize any of the cars in the parking lot when we were there, small town, we all know when we
Good.
let each other drive, but Seth from up in Little Giant, he brought his family there, and Willie got to talk with him, and he was absolutely ecstatic. He said, I've never been able to bring my family mountain biking here because there's no trails that they can actually bike on,
Good.
and it's amazing to have something that's family friendly, and
That's a good thing.
yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll be really interested to see what their trail count numbers come in as. A couple weekends ago, I was up there with Jake Kurzweil and our daughters, and I mean, it wasn't even close to noon. I think it was 10:30 when we were done, and we must have seen between 50 to 100 people.
how are you guys, how are you counting?
There's a trail counter right on the
There is.
right on there that
Okay.
BLM set up. So Megan's gonna have all that information
Oh,
for
cool.
us once the season shuts down, and well, and she gets on top of probably trying to sort through it. It's they're in BLM, they're just
Wow.
swamped. They're just so understaffed right now that it's really difficult for them to move forward with a lot of projects, which is another thing that this group is really excited about, because BLM is so crippled that this is a project that's so community driven and moving forward with BLM support, that it's something that they can feel really good about supporting. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, yeah, it's great. And they, told us yesterday, Willie asked questions, so how can we parlay this, and your support into more? And they said, we're happy to write letters of support for other things, and we're happy to give you recommendations for people in and outside of the state, and, help see what we can do to help move it along. So it's great.
I think because they are so new, they wanna support projects and see them, really bloom, so that gives them legitimacy.
Well,
And I mean, they're.
this project has, this is the type of project they would wanna support. because
Yeah.
It's really starting, the momentum starting to.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think in the next 2 years, we'll see some more beginner trails, kind of more towards the Hancock Gulch side, and a lower connector go over there, and the upper loop will get finished, and I think it'll only keep going, so,
Wow.
yeah. I think that's all I had. Yeah.
Tell us about AARP.
We're gonna have to compare birthdays here, I think. AAA, you mean? That was awesome. Yeah. I guess I do have the whitest hair here, so. Yeah. So AAA meeting,
That's right, well, close.
yeah. So the AARP, AAA, I mean, yeah, we're members of all of it, so they've finally come up with a new meeting time. They were hung up on Wednesdays. I'm like, I mean,
Make a decision.
Yeah, so what-
Yeah,
meeting's tomorrow, so I'll let you know after
Okay.
tomorrow, okay?
Yeah.
And Sue Fletcher and those guys, we're pushing forward with getting a new director, but it still hasn't happened yet, so hopefully tomorrow. I'll have something to report at the next meeting. What I have, you guys, those SMPA met here, they had their meeting here.
They did, yeah.
was that at the
Yeah.
Golden Block or?
That was the
Grand.
dinner at the Gold Block, but yeah.
Lunch at the Grand, I think, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was good, and Terry was there and Jake was there,
Yeah.
Terry leaving, but Jake being,
Nice.
and Brad Sporsky. I mean, those guys, they all, it's nice, they recognize you as a commissioner and stop you and talk to you, and
Yeah.
good relationship, anyway. Wasn't invited to the meeting, but anyway, so my main thing is I'm gonna throw something out that because it's late September. I'd love us to reach out, and if you want me to, or you or somebody, Grady is still on retainer for Silver Mountain. But I would like to see those guys in a meeting. We've only seen them once, the new owners of Silver Mountain.
Sure.
If you guys agree with this, and in October, before the season starts, there's some issues that they've inherited, okay? And we all know what those are,
Yeah.
right? Don't wanna bombard them, but we haven't even talked to them about it. And one of them is parking,
Okay.
and they've got some land there's some options there. And this kind of goes back to Road and Bridge, but I think we could compromise and do some stuff and even help them, but it helps us help ourselves too, because that guided skiing is a mess with the parking, and just start collaborating with those guys. The other thing is, they put a building in there. Okay, how long's it been, guys? No septic system. Okay, still Bob's John's. I'm not irritated by it, but this is way before my time that Aaron Brill made this
It's time to.
promise to you guys.
It's time to put.
Am I right or
Some
wrong?
kind of facility there. I mean, it just.
I remember Ernie talking about this.
They hired SC Group, the same group that the town had hired for Kendall and for the expansion of Kendall. And I know that last winter time, they were doing a lot with those guys for their master planning process.
Okay.
So they're trying to develop that too. So I know that they're trying to do that,
Like to hear it from them.
but would like to hear what the progress is on that and what.
Yeah, I'm not trying to,
It'd be good.
I'm not trying to get, not to be adversarial or anything.
Yeah.
I just,
And we got,
I think we're owed this,
Just need information.
we
just a meeting with them.
we got other things going on too. I think that the BLM, you know, the pit toilet for the BLM.
At Gladstone?
At Gladstone is gonna be in next summer,
Hmm.
probably. So having, you know, talking to them about that and, you know, their issues with, you know, turnaround and I think EPA is gonna be more involved up at their Gladstone treatment plant in the future, so they should
Definitely.
probably be aware about what's going on with that and what their contacts are for that.
Right.
Yeah, parking, I think, we had a talk not that long ago about, some of their access issues that they've had and, for the relationships that were there before and that there might be room for new relationships to be made with property
Absolutely.
owners in there.
Absolutely.
And that there could be, yeah, there could.
Yeah, some collaboration,
Some collaboration for sure.
right,
Yeah. I'm
these new owners, before, and if the attorney was here, he told me not to mention names, so I won't, but
yeah,
there's, like you said, some outlying landowners, we know who it is.
sure,
But they're new owners and they might be able to,
yeah,
there might be some deals to strike up there, but the parking thing is a huge thing, guys.
Oh, and it's a
It's-
pain to
it's a-
road and bridge sometimes.
it's-
I mean,
well-
Yeah, and it's just a pain anyway.
Right.
it was a little slow up there this year, just lack of snow.
Right,
So
right.
it was less of an issue this year
Right,
with the
but-
parking.
But when I get calls every weekend from various heads of the thing about the road conditions. But there's
Yeah,
no,
I was gonna say that also is another
Well,
problem too, yeah.
we just like to talk about it,
Sure, yeah.
you know, and all good, you just
Yeah.
collaborate.
Yeah.
You guys okay with calling them up, or
Yeah.
you wanna do it, or you good?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got a great,
I'm,
if you can't, let me know.
yeah, I was gonna.
Me
let
and Grady, you're tight.
Yeah, let me-
He's still in the game.
Let me make a phone call or two, and then if it doesn't.
If you get stuck,
If I don't get a
but you got a
favorable
great
response,
relationship with them.
yeah, if I don't get a favorable
Yeah.
response from them, then yeah,
Right. Well,
yeah. I'll let you bark at Grady.
you have to, you're gonna have another relationship with them also,
Sure,
so.
yeah,
I just had this idea for your daughter when she's a little older is, on the road growing up Velocity Basin, she could just set up a little lemonade stand right there. It is here, it's coming down.
Hot
Hot
chocolate.
chocolate, I mean.
yeah.
Hot chocolate, that's
Mini
not-
marshmallows,
Yeah.
mini marshmallows, the old mini marshmallow thing, yeah,
Yeah,
but, that's all I got.
yeah,
Okay.
I just thought, here we
Oh,
are,
it's a-
we tend to forget, it's like, winter's coming.
Well, and we
And it's
should
coming
do
quick.
that with everybody, you know, every once in a while, Forest Service, BLM,
Yeah.
DRMS,
Well, I mean,
no.
I hate to say it, but we didn't have our meeting,
With the county,
well, with the counties, with.
Yeah, I was gonna say over there,
We
yeah.
didn't have our meeting with the, Forest Service for the bridge, or the culvert on Stony.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
We didn't have our meeting with Uray County and CDOT for parking on top of.
On
Red
top of
Mountain.
Red Mountain.
And some of that stuff's gonna happen anyway.
Sure, yeah,
But yeah, and it's just.
it catches up with you.
It's just, there's only
Gotta
so
have
many
it.
hours in the day and.
Right. To me though, we've met them one time. I think we need to
Yeah. Yeah.
I have-
and
let them know that we're
When
here.
they're starting off and just talk about avalanche control and
And everything
crowd
else.
control and,
And-
you know.
Some of that stuff, they're continuing on and not changing and doing well, but like I said, we didn't wanna bombard them at the beginning, but I mean. How old is that septic
20,
thing?
I mean, it's never been done in 20 years,
Right.
35,
Right.
how old is
Right.
it? 25
I mean,
I would bet that their first year, I think they wanted to run the status quo. and see what
Absolutely.
It was, but they were already starting conversations about making plans. I think last year and this year they're making plans. I'm hopeful the next year
yeah,
we'll see
not
that.
gonna happen, not much, but
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
I'd like to hear from
But it'd be great to hear from
them,
them and see
you know,
what they say, yeah.
it's different owners.
Yeah,
So I'm optimistic about that,
yeah,
because I remember, going back, it was constantly, oh, God, the expense of this and that, yeah. Put them in, we know what they are. let's move forward with this.
Yeah.
Well, the office or trailer out there was approved, but only on a temporary basis.
Correct.
because They were doing, they didn't wanna locate something and now they had their master
think-
plan
right.
completed, so
Didn't
at some point.
they wanted 5 years and we gave them 3.
I think we gave them 3, that's what I was
That's
thinking,
right.
I'd have to go back.
Good memory.
And I
We're
think,
not too far away.
No,
well, I think it's only been 1 year, cause I think they put it in
Yeah.
last.
Year,
That's
yeah,
right.
Last.
yeah.
That's right.
They're only wanted 3, but yeah, yeah,
Anyway,
you're
just-
right.
just-
It'd be-
and we're, like I said, it's all positive
Sure,
stuff, but it's time to let them know that we're here.
Yeah, they're a major player in the county, we just need to sit down and
Exactly.
find out what they're
And
thinking.
Get
and
a
let them-
get a relationship with
Is
us.
there something we can do for them, you know?
Yep.
sure,
Absolutely, absolutely. That's all I got.
alright. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 8:43 PM. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for giving us all
Yeah,
that
Like I
homework.
said,
Yeah, it's actually, it's totally
And I-
good, so.
and I- Sorry, though.